Dear, Module 2 of the Lexicon training course deals with the start activities when you found your own company. The module was elaborated from the company Brain Plus from Austria. The module deals with the planning of the founding of a company. It describes mainly how you elaborate a business plan. The main content with which this module is dealing is how to write a so-called business plan. This instrument is often used when you plan successful the start of your company. At the beginning of this module, we will give you a description what a business plan is. A business plan is a written document where the founding of a new company is described. The business plan describes the product and/or service idea. The business plan explains the customer and target market. Furthermore, the business plan gives a rough overview on financial issues. Why is a plan needed, and why should you elaborate a business plan? The business plan is a planning document for your business idea and the company which you want to establish. A business plan is mostly needed for bank issues when you try to get a loan from a bank. A business plan is also needed when you apply for public funding. A business plan has also a function for internal issues. A business plan is also needed for own controlling issues. With a business plan, you can check if you reached the goals which you formulated at the start of your own company. Goals could be financial goals, but goals could be also the number of clients or special clients which you plan to have. This chapter deals with the structure of a business plan. Business plans have a standardized structure which should be used. The length of a business plan should be not too long or too short. Approximately 20-30 pages are enough. The speech should be clear and not too technical. Furthermore, a business plan should be designed well. There are free templates for a design which you can download in the web. A business plan consists on the following chapters: executive summary, company goals and profile, product or service, branch and market, marketing, management and key positions, implementation planning, opportunities and risks, financial issues. We will go in the following slides more into detail in each chapter. The first chapter is the executive summary. In this chapter, the company idea is summarized on one page. It is recommended that you write this summary after you have written all the other chapters. The executive summary is what most readers read first. If it is not good, it may be the last thing they read about your company. Make sure you answer the following questions. What is the business about? Describe here your business idea. Why should someone invest in your product or service? You want to sell a product or service. Describe here why your idea is needed and why clients will buy it. How will you achieve success? Describe here how you will reach the clients and how you want to build up the company so that it will be successful. How much money is required? If you need money, describe here how much you need. You can also mention where the money will come from. This chapter deals with the juridical form you choose for building up your company. Also, which name you want to take and where your company can be located. The question here is, which type of business do you want to build up? The main used juridical form is a so-called one-person business. You are, as a person, the owner of the company. Tax advisors recommend only from a turnover of about 70,000 euros per year to think about the company form of the LTD. A limited liability company is a legal entity. Legal entities are communities recognized by law. Legal entities have rights and obligations. For getting the name for your business, please think on the following. Make your name memorable, appealing, and easy-to-use names are better. Avoid geographical names. In the chapter Company Goals and Profile, you should also think, where should your company be located? Choose a convenient location for your business. Have in mind here how the surrounding will be and how far away is the company from your home. Think also, if you want to establish your company within your private living, more or less as a home office. When you think on your location, please consider also the cost aspect. There are several options here. You can establish your company at home, if this is possible. Of course, you can save money here when you want to go in this direction. There could be also the challenge to combine business with private issues. Furthermore, there is always an option that you move into a business park. The advantage is here that there is already a network of existing companies where you can establish easier business contacts. Also, the prices are sometimes a bit lower for company founders because of public fundings. This chapter deals with the description of your product service which you want to offer on the market. In the business plan, you should describe here in detail what your product service is. When writing this part of the business plan, stress your product's uniqueness. The main question is, why customers should buy your product or service? What especially is the need of the customer, which you want to satisfy with your offer? There must be a difference from your product or service to already existing products and/or services which are already available on the market. An example of customer need takes place every day around 12 p.m. This is when people begin to experience hunger and decide to purchase lunch. The type of food, the location of the restaurant, and the amount of time the service will take are all factors to how individuals decide to satisfy the need. 16 most common types of customer needs. The types of product needs can be split into two categories: product and service. Product needs. 1. Functionality. Customers need your product or service to function the way they need in order to solve their problem or desire. 2. Price. Customers have unique budgets with which they can purchase a product or service. 3. Convenience. Your product or service needs to be a convenient solution to the function your customers are trying to meet. 4. Experience. The experience using your product or service needs to be easy or at least clear, so as not to create more work for your customers. 5. Design. Along the lines of experience, the product or service needs a slick design to make it relatively easy and intuitive to use. 6. Reliability. The product or service needs to reliably function as advertised every time the customer wants to use it. 7. Performance. The product or service needs to perform correctly so the customer can achieve their goals. 8. Efficiency. The product or service needs to be efficient for the customer by streamlining an otherwise time-consuming process. 9. Compatibility. The product or service needs to be compatible with other products your customer is already using. Service needs. 10. Empathy. When your customers get in touch with customer service, they want empathy and understanding from the people assisting them. 11. Fairness. From pricing to terms of service to contract length, customers expect fairness from a company. 12. Transparency. Customers expect transparency from a company they're doing business with. Service outages, pricing changes, and things breaking happen, and customers deserve openness from the businesses they give money to. 13. Control. Customers need to feel like they're in control of the business interaction from start to finish and beyond. And customer empowerment shouldn't end with the sale. Make it easy for them to return products, change subscriptions, adjust terms, etc. 14. Options. Customers need options when they're getting ready to make a purchase from a company. Offer a variety of product, subscription, and payment options to provide that freedom of choice. 15. Information. Customers need information from the moment they start interacting with your brand to days and months after making a purchase. Businesses should invest in educational blog content, instructional knowledge-based content, and regular communication, so customers have the information they need to successfully use a product or service. 16. Accessibility. Customers need to be able to access your service and support teams. This means providing multiple channels for customer service. We'll talk a little more about these options later. You can gain more knowledge about what your customers want using a few different strategies. 1. Use existing data. Most likely you have some customer data already, especially if you're using a CRM. This is the best place to start your search. Are there pain points or issues you can glean from just looking at this customer data? Are there any patterns you can identify? Taking note of who your current customers are and their past interactions with your brand to get a better idea of where customers are coming from and if you're meeting their needs. 2. Solicit customer feedback. When trying to identify consumer needs, go straight to the source. This can be done using surveys that live on your site or sent via email. Additionally, you could conduct focus groups to gain more in-depth insight to customer needs and their overall experience with your product or service. 3. Customer journey. Mapping. To better understand and assist customers, you'll need to first know what phase of the customer journey they are in and what they're looking for. This is where customer journey mapping can help, giving a visual representation of how customers interact with your brand. This exercise will help you create a more proactive customer service approach and improve retention. 4. Input from service team. In addition to getting customer feedback, it's important to consult those who work with them, most your service team. They'll often have insights you may not be privy to and can help you anticipate the needs of your customers, as well as solve existing issues. They'll also be able to explain how customers are currently using your product or service and can identify any hiccups in the process. 5. Study competitors. It's common to study competitors when conducting market research, but you should also consider them when identifying customer needs. There might be overlap in your target audience, meaning your brand could benefit from reviewing any issues competitors are experiencing and gain insight on how they went about fixing it. You might find that some of their strategies would be worth implementing at your company or discover gaps in service that your company can fill. 6. Use social media chances. Your customers use a variety of social media platforms in their day-to-day. Take advantage of that by using it as a way to listen in on what customers are saying about your products and your competitors. Are people asking questions under your posts? What sorts of comments are they making? Are they giving praise, asking for assistance, or do they want new features? Using a social media monitoring tool like Hootsuite will help you identify trends, mentions, and hashtags relevant to your brand to better inform your strategy. 7. Keyword research. People turn to the internet for most things, so Google is an excellent resource for figuring out customer needs. How are customers finding your brand online, and what are they typing into the search box to find it? Doing keyword research can give you a broad overview of what your customers need based on search data. Keyword research will also help you optimize your site for search engines by aligning the content of your site with what customers are searching for. If you design your process with these things in mind, you'll be able to uncover consumer needs at any stage of their life cycle. You can take a deeper dive into their needs by conducting a customer needs analysis. This chapter deals with the description of the branch and market where you will offer your product or service. In the last chapter, we spoke already on the company needs. Before we go deeper into detail on the topics, branch and market, we will focus again on the customer profile. It is important to be thorough and precise when creating a description of the target customer for your product or service. This description defines the characteristics of the people you want to sell it to and should indicate, among other things, whether your customers are cost or quality conscious, under what circumstances they buy, and what types of concerns they have. Describe your main typical customer. Do you want to sell to companies? Do you want to sell to private person? Your target market is a group of customers that a business decided to aim its marketing efforts. The competition section where your products or services fit in the competition environment. Which groups of people are attracted to your product? This question is crucial because it can have an impact on your marketing strategy. In the course of the market analysis, you determine the age, origin, gender, etc. of your target group in order to plan customer-specific advertising measures. The competition section where your products or services fit in the competition environment. The following questions arise here. What comparable products does the competition offer? How does your product differ from others? What is your unique selling proposition, USP? Which market segments do competitors already cover? What strategies do they pursue? What successes or failures of your competitors can you learn from? Where can you find gaps that you can use? Step 1. The market description. The first step is to get to know the market that is relevant to you. You can find out how this is defined by asking the following questions. What is the target group? Age, gender, income, place of residence, habits. What does this target group prefer? You can research information about the market in question on the internet or in trade journals. Other sources include chambers of commerce, associations, market research institutes, state and federal statistical offices, or company annual reports. Example, you want to launch a vegan coffee drink in sustainable packaging on the market. To determine the corresponding target market, you first have to describe your product, flavors, ingredients, packaging, etc. Add to this your preliminary sales territory. This is followed by the definition of your target group, in this case, nutrition-conscious, environmentally aware people, as well as people who don't have much time to prepare a coffee drink themselves or wait in the coffee shop for it to be prepared. Step 2. The market size. How big the market is depends on the actual turnover or sales of a product. You should determine and analyze these two metrics to determine the market size. For the market size, the timeliness of the data is crucial. It should not be older than 1 year, preferably from the last quarter. You can also research relevant data on the internet, for example at the Federal Statistical Office, at Statista, on websites of chambers of industry and commerce. Example, in the case of our coffee drink, you should research statistics and other reputable data on the sales or turnover of vegan coffee drinks. To calculate the market size, there is the following formula. Market size, number of buyers, X number of purchases, X price. First, find out how many people live vegan. From this, subtract those who do not drink coffee. Also differentiate between hot and cold coffee drinkers, and calculate how many times a day coffee is drunk on average. Also think about non-vegans who would still consume a vegan coffee drink. The more data you find, the more meaningful your market analysis will be. Step 3. The competitive analysis. Which factors are decisive for the market and competition analysis can be found? Who is the market leader? Which competitors are there? For what reasons do certain suppliers prevail over the others? Supplier bargaining power. How many potential suppliers are there? How can you react to price increases if the worst comes to the worst? Negotiating power of customers. How big is the target group's need for your product? How could they react to price changes? Competition from new suppliers. How difficult is it to enter your market? Investment costs, marketing costs, etc. Consequently, how likely is it that many new competitors will enter? Competition from substitute products. What alternatives to your product are there? Could they affect sales of your product due to improvements? Example, the questions just mentioned must be applied to your product. Who is the market leader in vegan coffee drinks? Who supplies the vegan ingredients? Who supplies the sustainable packaging? Relate all the questions to your product or service. Step 4. The industry analysis. Closely linked to the competitive analysis is the analysis of the industries that generate the highest turnover or sales. Starting from your defined market, you can analyze the attractiveness and structure of the industries and thereby gain insights into the corresponding target groups. From this, you can derive customer requirements and behavior, and thus marketing strategies for your company. The following questions will help you with the analysis. How high are the sales in the respective industry? What trends are emerging in the industry in question? Which innovations have recently increased the success of the industry in question? Example. Again, you need to apply the listed questions to your product. How high are the industry sales for vegan coffee drinks? What trends are emerging? Is there a trend back to traditional coffee drinks, or is the demand for vegan products increasing? What sustainable trends come after plastic-free and veganism? Step 5. The market potential analysis. For you as a founder, forecasting how the market will develop in the future is particularly important. The analysis of the market potential deals with questions about possible personnel barriers to market entry, e.g., costs, success factors, future developments, and trends concerning the market. Especially investors will be interested in the results of your market potential analysis. Example: how many employees do you need to sell your vegan coffee drink? What will it cost you to enter the market, and what other obstacles could make it more difficult? What is the future of the market, and will vegan lifestyle and sustainability continue to be trendy? These are questions you should address. Gut feeling alone is not enough. The more solid evidence you can provide to support your assumptions, the better. This chapter deals with marketing issues of your product or service. In this presentation, you will get only a very small overview on the topic, because in Module 3, Get Connected with Customers from KDRIU, you will learn more on the topic marketing. The chapter marketing should include the following topics in the business plan. Pricing strategy. This part describes how much you want to charge for your product or service. So, in short, what will be the price? Sales strategy. This topic deals how you want to sell your product. You can sell, for instance, via a store or an online platform, for instance. Advertising and promotion. Your advertising and promotions campaign is how you communicate information about your product or service. Price. What you will charge for your product or service. Sale. How you get products to the user. Will you sell them directly to your customers? Will you sell online? Advertisement and promotion. This section should include a description of all advertising vehicles you plan to use. Newspapers, magazines, radio, and TV. Sales promotional materials, package design, Facebook, etc. This chapter deals with the description of the involved key staff. Generally, the management and ownership section of a business plan is one of the easier, less time-consuming portions to compile. But elaborate it carefully, because possible investors or banks take a close look on it. In this, quite small section of the business plan, you should describe the involved key staff of your business. At the beginning, a short section on who owns and controls your company will help readers derive a better understanding of who will make decisions. Make a small CV for each person, where you describe the education, but also, and this is much more interesting, the experience which the people have already in the business where you will work. You can describe here also how you work together if you are not a sole proprietorship, which further key staff is involved. Describe here who is responsible for which topic. For instance, one person is responsible for the production, the other one for accounting. This section of the business plan describes concretely which activities you have to do in order to start your business. The following questions arises. What are the milestones in the development of your business, and when do they need to be reached? How do the next steps look like? There are 3 practical steps to create an implementation plan. 1. Set goals. The first step in the implementation process is to set your goals. Determine exactly how you want the business to be built. Defining your project goals at the beginning will make it easier to flesh out your plan. 2. Set milestones. Setting project milestones is an important step in the planning process because these checkpoints help you track your progress. Milestones serve as a benchmark against which you can gauge the progress of your startup and the road ahead. 3. Assign responsibilities and tasks. Each implementation plan should include a list of responsibilities assigned to each team member. By assigning responsibilities, you can measure each team member's performance and monitor progress more closely. This section of the business plan describes the opportunities and risks which you could have with your founding idea. A well-founded consideration of the opportunities and risks creates confidence in you as a person and in your company. This is because it proves that you are not naive, but have taken a close look at your business idea, the opportunities it offers, but of course also the risks that could jeopardize success or even end the project. When assessing the opportunities and risks, you should remain realistic. If it is not possible to make a final assessment, at least set out what the best case and worst case consequences might be. When assessing your strengths and weaknesses, a certain amount of self-confidence is harmless, as long as you do not exaggerate. Opportunities include all external factors that lead to the company being able to survive on the market and possibly even develop further. For example, existence of a unique selling proposition, concrete customer inquiries, high demand, for example from many potential buyers, or because the product is currently in vogue, market not saturated, increasing market growth, low competitive pressure, for example because there are no competitors or they are exiting the market. Risks, on the other hand, are all factors that can lead to the failure of the company, for example, those presented below. Market risks, general economic situation, for example, dwindling purchasing power, recession, payment defaults, low market acceptance, higher costs than planned, strong competition, high probability of substitute products appearing, clogged sales channels, for example in retail, no access to raw materials. Technological risks, failure of production equipment, quality deficiencies in production, lack of compatibility with foreign products, lack of technical infrastructure, emergence of new technologies, political risks, legal prohibitions, high environmental regulations, social risks, demographic changes in the target group, change in trends, change of awareness in the population, personnel risk, termination of key employees, work absences, for example, due to illness, parental leave or strikes, industrial accidents. This section of the business plan describes the financial issues. The concept of depreciation recognizes that assets decline in value over time, and it spreads their cost over their useful life.